Hello everyone and welcome to patch note OB0.29, the Arbiter. So, this means we're gonna have thought in the game. For those who don't know, it's a god from Smite itself. And let's take a look at this patch. Because it's a really big one, and we're gonna have lots of change cards and lots of new cards. So let's start right now. So what's new? The starter pack. We're introducing a starter patch which includes a raw Sunstar leader skins and 7 core packs for $4.99. Or I'd probably buy it just because I want the skin. And 7 core packs actually for $5 is kind of a good deal. So, you know, we're gonna have clans now. 25 players to complete a weekly clan quest, which will reward players with a card pack. Okay, I guess that's some cool ways to have new um, free packs, should I say. Daily login bonus. Now this is interesting because they decided to remove it and now it's back. So the reason why they remove it is because player would log in, take the reward, and log off. Right? So players weren't playing the game because of the daily logging bonus, right? The players who were playing the game, it's because they enjoy it. Now in 0.29, we have added a daily login bonus to reward players for consecutively logging in throughout the week. Players will favor in a bonus pack. I mean, there's earn here, so player will earn favor in a bonus pack for logging in throughout the week. The daily login bonus replaces the first win of the day quest in your quest log. So I do kind of like why they re-implemented it. So this is mainly you're gonna get a free pack, so that's cool, and you'll get a bunch of favor to get more packs and stuff. But the cool thing is that with the first one of the day, you actually had to win in order to get that favor. And if you were a newer player, maybe sometimes that would be a little bit harder because you didn't have the cards and you didn't know what you were doing. So with the daily logging bonus, at least the newer player, just by logging in, will get packs and will get favors. But it's unfortunate that we lost the first one of the day because of that. But I'm unsure about if I like it or not, because then you meticulously always have to log in each day, and if you miss the 7th day, then you go back to 1 and you miss your free pack. So yeah, it's a little bit painful to follow, but at least if you're meticulous enough, you'll get free pack every week. Combat log though, the combat log has been completely redesigned. The combat log can now be found in the top left hand side of the screen, and it provides additional information such as what unit attacked who. You can see all of this information by simply hovering on a card inside the combat log. So I mean, it's an advanced combat log because we really have a basic one, but at least now we'll have more information. And usually, the more information you have, the better you can make your plays. Talking about more information, we have a deck tracker now. We've added a brand new system called the deck tracker. The deck tracker can be opened by selecting the deck icon on the bottom right of your UI. The deck tracker keeps track of all cards you have played, what cards are left in your hand, or probably in your deck, they want to say. Because you can see what's left in your hand and what card your opponent has played. So that's a lot of information with the deck tracker. Now, new cards. Advanced Maneuver, it's a Roman card, a common 1 mana, and you swap the position of 2 units. And I really love that. Oh, sorry. And I really love that. And it means that, if you have a good trade on board, it will mean that, okay, I'm gonna mute that. Sorry, guys. And yeah, if you have a good trade on board, but then you have a useless unit in your hand, you can drop that early useless unit or low drop, and then you can make them switch one of their unit for 1 more mana, and you can make the trade really easily. Especially if there's like a Stone Warrior in the back over there that you can't kill, and then you can just bring it to your army and make it kill. Or the combo decks, you can just kill whatever their combo pieces is. If they're trying to play like zombies, with the one that pings you every time one of your guys dies. I don't know why I can't remember. Well, Anyways, let's move to Cupid. Now that they make it as a new card because it's a whole new ability. So 3 mana, 4/2, still the same stats and same mana. But the work right now stuns an enemy and knockback adjacent enemy. And that could be potentially really interesting. Oh, sorry, really interesting, especially with like shackles or stuff like that. That will make you like being able to move, attack a unit, right, with a range unit, and then knock back their unit, meaning it was out of range of your range unit for the next turn. So yeah, there's some fun stuff you can do with Cupid. Would it be good? I don't know. Still 4 mana for 2 health is it's really, and you need to have something on board in order to get the free damage for the stun. So yeah, Elder RP, a free mana 3. No, a free card, 3 mana, 3/2 Warcry, and you're going to draw a card. And remove the pardon, I mean, but you know, most of the time the RP would have died, but at least now, even if it dies, you draw a card no matter what. So, Gem of Isolation is a Greek card, you know all that. I mean, they're putting it as new cards just because it's completely different. But now it's a rare 2 mana that stuns a unit and deal 1 damage to all adjacent enemy unit. So, you know, how good is it? Get a stun, which meant me a free trade. 1 damage to all adjacent unit. I don't know. That's not the best part of it. You're really going for the stun. Maybe if your opponent's playing like aggressive decks, like Odin aggro, but will you play that just for against Odin aggro? I don't know. Heavenly Agility, a common 1 mana that you gain 1 additional mana per turn. I really like that card. Why? Because if it's a really good card early game, right? So if you start the game with 1 or 2, like it's amazing. But if you're out of cards in your hand, you're in top deck mode, and you get that card, it will literally be a dead draw. You're already gonna have 10 mana. It's not gonna give you anything. So it is, it's not a win-win card. It's a win-lose cards because there's some times that you will not want to draw that card, or you will not want that card in your deck, and it makes it really interesting. That is just not good. It can be good and can be bad, and that's what I enjoy with cards. So I really enjoy the new Heavenly Agility for Greeks. Invigorate. It's a Chinese rare 3 mana that gives a friendly unit +1/+1 for each beats you control. Now, I think that 3 mana is a little bit too high for that. I would have put it 2 mana because usually you'll have around 2-3 beasts. So it will be like 2 mana to give +2/+2, +3/+3. Sometimes 4/4/4, but most of the times 3 mana it's a little bit too much. Solar Sanctum. It's a rare 3 mana that your summoning stone now heals all adjacent friendly for 1 at the start of your turn. So now this is actually a playable card. I really like that. And it's always going to trigger your heals, so your Need will gain her passive ability to attack global range. And so is your Soulback and all of that triggers with healing. You will not have to spend mana in order to trigger a healing. You'll just have to be damaged and be around your summoning stone. Now we got Thoth, the new Egyptian god, which is going to be an epic 5 mana 3/5, and whenever a friendly is healed, you deal 2 damage to all enemies in the same row as Thoth. And I believe it's going to be range, so if you put it in the back of your summoning stone, you can actually reach the whole map because you can go 2 up and 2 down, which means that it's going to be really powerful. Really good control card. And Venator is going to be a free mana. Oh my god, why do I always do that? It's a free card, which costs 5 mana for a 5/3 range, probably. And Warcry, you give a unit +2/+1, but it's not until the end of the turn. So this can actually be pretty good. Like, you give it to your fire giant, and then it cleaves for a lot more than it should. Granted, it is 5 mana, but you get the combos. Like, you can even go with souls, but would you play the Venator at that point? I don't know. Maybe Soul for Chalice, and then you take control of the whole game. Talking about Soul, I saw she has a little buff you'll see later on. So, general bonus packs. This is a new pack that does not contain any legendaries or epic card and will be giving out for various reward and futures updates. Okay, fair enough. New free packs is free packs, I'll take them. So balance. Now, Emperor's Prize, which is the 3 mana draw a card for each unit you have in your board, which is Chinese. It's reduced mana cost from 3 to 2. Now it's much more playable, honestly. And aggro Chinese could be a thing, especially with the change to Ninja here. It's going to be a health from increase from 3 to 4, and his attack increase from 1 to 3, but instead of dealing 3 times the damage when a spell is played, he's going to deal 2 times the damage. So he's going to be a 3 mana 4/4 if you play a spell in that turn, which is okay. Right? We got a 3 mana 3/4 as a Doom Speaker. Now it's kind of like it's still not. It doesn't feel like a god. It still feels like it's a minion. Calamity, which is I believe it's the Chinese that stuns in a row, but I may be wrong, but I think it stuns everything on a row. But now it's gonna also draw a card, and I think it costs 2 mana. Maybe it was nerfed to 1, but I never saw the card being played, so that's why it's so hard for me to remember. Now Jade Bond is gonna be 1 mana. That the buff is now applied at the end of your turn instead of the start, and the buff is getting +1 attack. So okay, probably never going to play that. Fist of the Gods, it's interesting, right? Now it's going to draw a card as well. So not only you're stunning, but you're also drawing a card, which makes it a 1/1 and a free stun for a mana. So it's good stuff. We could definitely see that into Egyptian aggressive deck. That is 100% sure. Now Phantom Grass saw a buff because his mana cost was reduced from 8 to 7, which means that, at least you're going to be able to play an Apollo and a Kraken with that. So it's a huge buff. It's not only the card itself, but it's how much in your turn you can do with that. It's actually really powerful. And since you already have Deicide in that kill the god in your turn, Phantom Grass takes control of the god. So yeah, we're gonna see a lot more Phantom Grass now. Now Medusa, in my opinion, this is a nerf, but now her attack transforms a non-god unit into stone. So the unit doesn't have to be damaged anymore, but it needs to be a non-god, right? So it's a 3/5 for 5 mana, which is range, but still, if you're against a god, she has no ability. She's a vanilla card. But if you're against minion, she will insta-kill them. And, there's some people playing a lot of minions, but there's always going to be some sort of gods in the decks. Though, if you think about it, you rarely have gods in Arena. I shouldn't say rarely, but you have much less gods in Arena, Thunderdome, than in the competitive or in the ladder. So Medusa is going to be much better in Arena, that's for sure. Now we have Unholy Offering, who you sacrifice a unit to deal 3 damage to a god, or sacrifice a zombie. I think it must be in a zombie. Anyways, his mana cost got reduced from 1 to 0. Yeah, I can see that. But still, it's very restrictive from only targeting gods. So Instant Fatalis mana cost reduced from 3 to 2. Maybe we're going to find a Holy Wombo combo with that. I don't know. Especially with the Web of Word mana cost reduced from 4 to 3. That could, that, I really hate that. Just because of the buff on Soul. It's going to be... I really don't like that. The Web of Word buff, it got nerfed for a reason. And then they buff it again to 3 mana instead of 4. I really don't like that. Backstab. Mana cost reduced from 1 to 0. And here's the buff soul. Backstab, that doesn't change anything. Usually if you play aggro, 1 mana or 0, when you're in the late game, it doesn't matter because you're going to burst your opponent with the backstab in the late game. So yeah, it's like, this is a non-existent buff, really. In corner cases, sometimes you will need that mana, but still. Soul, attack increase from 1 to 2. And this is why it's so annoying, because now you have Runestone of Ire that you can play. And then Soul's gonna be a 2/3, I believe. I think she's a 1/3 right now. Or yeah, it's been a long time I didn't saw Soul, so it's really hard to remember. But she's gonna be a 2-3 or 2-2, but that's not the point. The point is her attack, right? Because if you spawn something, you must spawn it around your summoning stone. And Soul can attack your summoning stone and deal free damage to everything around your summoning stone for free. And if she has Runes of an Archer, she's gonna have charge. That means that she can automatically hit your stone unless you're like blocking the 3 front rows. But you know, early game's not gonna happen. And on top of that, if you get it from a 3 mana Web of Word, then she's gonna have 4 attack, and then her ability, and then charge, and then it's really cancer. And then you got 2 mana Hasten Fatalis. You're gonna deal 8. You're gonna like control the whole game, and unless your opponent has a direct removal or spell to kill her, there's not much you can do because you have to spawn around your summoning stone. Anyways, I really don't like the soul and the Web of Word because you can get a soul from it. I just don't enjoy that. I just don't enjoy these cards, and I don't think it's fun for anybody to be playing against that. Anyway, moving on. Wind Demon mana cost reduced from 3 to 2. Yeah, 3 mana was a little bit too much paid for that, especially if the Pantheon focuses on aggressiveness. So yeah, I like that. I'm one of the players who like Wind Demon actually in their deck, so yeah. Sprint, mana cost reduced from 4 to 3. It's to be in order with the Hasten Fatalis buff also. Bulwark cannot take more than 3 damage from a single source. That can be interesting. That could actually be interesting. Especially to counter some combo decks if we see any. Um, that could really be cool. Gallus, attack increase from 1 to 2. I mean, it kind of needs it because it's really useless with 1 attack. Same for Spartan. Maybe we'll see them a little bit more. I really doubt it though. Gladiator, passive down reduced leader ability caused by 2 mana. So there's no point into having 2 on board. But now that you play 1, you will always be able to play your leader ability. So if you're playing it on curve and you're like Odin, or you're raw and you want to really heal, you're always going to be able to do that. Crescent Blades are really going to be useful also. So yeah, or maybe we'll see more gladiators. Probably somebody's going to try it because you know that's a powerful ability. Ares, attack increased from 4 to 7 and health reduced from 8 to 6. So he's now going to be a 7/6. So Ares is going to be a brute, but with an ability instead of protect 2. How good is that? Well, if you take in consideration that the Pantheon has Deadbringer, that means that if you keep 2 Deadbringers and you have an Ares on board and you can attack his summoning stone, well, you can burst for 21, which is pretty good, right? You're gonna say, yeah, but you know, Nike was a 6/5 and can do the same thing, but with 18 damage burst. But the thing is that Ares with his ability is much better than Nike with her passive protection against spells. So yeah, definitely expect some Ares with some Deadbringers to come in the next patch. So yeah, interesting because it's going to be Greek was known to having low attack, right? It was Nike with high attack, Arachne, and that's it. There was nothing else over 5 in their pantheon. So yeah, that's going to put it up there with the attack, and he's still a lot of health. Now Fenrir is gonna have an attack increase from 2 to 4 and a mana cost increase from 4 to 5. So when you play it at the end of the turn, you're gonna cost 5 mana to have 6/5 now. Which you don't play Fenrir for the attack. You play Fenrir because you want him to survive. So for me, it's a nerf, and even if they increase the attack, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, sorry. Ymir is gonna have a mana cost reduced from 5 to 4. It's gonna be a 4-drop now, and his attack reduced from 3 to 2, and his health reduced from 7 to 6. So it's gonna be a 2/6 for 4. Now, the thing is, what makes Ymir powerful is his ability to stun units, right? And then makes retrade or just ignore it and pushes damage to face. So Ymir is gonna come earlier into the game. 1 health is not gonna be a game breaker or anything. But at least his ability will be put to use much more often now, especially that he has lower attack. Especially that. So yeah, like that. Vulcan health increased from 3 to 4. Now Vulcan was really bad stat lines, and in the fact that the cannon pops randomly when you play it, it's not really not reliable. So 5 mana for a 4/3 was really bad. Now it's 5 mana for a 4/4, just like Jack. But instead of doing 2 damage, you deploy a turret, which will probably do 2 damage if it gets attack, and then if it don't, maybe you can zone. So it's a buff, but really nothing really significant. Now Armor Behemoth passive now gives +3/+0 instead of +2/+0, which make him a little bit more hard to deal with, but still you just have to not attack him and you're good. Fury or I don't know. I'm sorry how I pronounce it, but this one health increase from 5 to 6. Now she started as a 6/4. And then she got buffed to a 6/5, and then she's buffed to a 6/6. Now it's like really good stats, especially that she won't take return damage and she's harder and harder to kill. I believe that she's going to be a good card now. There's plenty of better late game, like Fire Giant and Blade Master, but still, she's going to be there in Arena. If you draft her, she's going to be better. So yeah. Kang. Attack increase from 5 to 6. So if I remember right, maybe I'm wrong, but I am pretty sure that the only ranged character with more than 5 health is Hades and a baboon. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the 2 only. Hades and baboon. Now, yeah. So this will kill Hades. That 1 extra attack will kill Hades with a Kang, but it will still not kill a baboon 1 shot. And so it doesn't matter that much, but maybe it matters if you want to use him against melee units, right? So maybe that's significant after all. But his health got reduced from 5 to 4, and that I hate it because, you want him to tank attack and to free kill range units. And by lowering his attack, well, he's losing that effectiveness. Now, Brontus, passive now, gives +1/+1 instead of +0/+1. That could actually be really cool. Like, you can maybe see that in Zeus now, because with the Marksman and Bronthus, and then you start playing gods, this Bronthus can grow out of control. Clay Soldier now has an increased attack from 0 to 1. Like, will that really matter? You could even have popped it as a 2 mana, and I don't even think it will saw some play. Maybe someone would have found something really cool to do with it. But still, 3 mana for 1/1. The dice deal 5 damage on random. Really, and it's so weak against like range, and it doesn't even have charge. So then, I just don't want to talk about it. And now Poseidon ability is now a Warcry. So this is cool because it's a nerf to Recruiter. You cannot recruit your enemy Poseidon and get a Kraken. So now, he only gets a 2/2 from Recruiter. Beacon of Hope will pop you a Poseidon. It's only a 2/2, which is really bad. You're not getting the Kraken anymore. So, yeah. The Poseidon nerf, I really like that. And it's going to be much more easier for people to understand how Poseidon works now that it's a Warcry. So, this is the patch note OB0.29, who should come next week if everything's good. But we'll have to see. So anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you learn a lot. Let me know what you think about the patch note. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, really enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next video.